The Kinky Cocktail Hour is brought to you by Motorbunny, the world's most powerful saddle-style vibrator that offers fabulous, creative sexual experiences. We use it and it rotates, it vibrates, and it delivers mind-blowing orgasms. Enjoy Motorbunny as your favorite sex toy. When you order the Motorbunny, multiple attachments are included along with the Link controller, which allows wireless control from anywhere. Motorbunny is the world's most powerful saddle-style vibrator on Earth. Use the link in the show notes and spice up your sex life with a Motorbunny. You're listening to Kinky Cocktail Hour, a conversation between adults about sex-forward relationships, kinky lifestyles, and frank communication. If you're under 18, please stop listening and visit scarletteen.com. I'm Lady Petra. My pronouns are she, her, and hers.
I'm SafferMaster. My pronouns are him, his, and he.
And this is Kinky Cocktail Hour.
Cheers!
Cheers!
All right, what are we drinking today?
Well, we need a strong drink today to match the complete sub-crash that I'm in right now. Not in a bad way, just I'm still very super subby. So we're having a Long Island iced tea.
Nice.
So, and this drink is a no-brainer because you can pretty much, people mix it up and there's traditional Long Island ingredients, but you can make Miami iced teas and Florida iced teas and all these things. And really you can change it up. You can put scotch in it one time or whiskey or different things, right? But we're going traditional. It's all equal parts.
Okay.
So depending on how much you're making, that's how you know how it's equal parts. So rum, vodka, gin, tequila, triple sec, roses, lime, and lemon juice. And then top it off with cola.
That sounds fun.
It's fun in a glass.
Well, all right, let's taste it up. See how you did.
All right, let's see.
It's a pint glass, too. Yeah, that'll fuck you up.
Because you have to have a pint. It creates so much alcohol. Because our normal, when we have drinks, because we drink doubles usually, it ends up being close to 2.5 to 3 ounces of actual alcohol. And then there's mixer or whatever. Even when we serve it straight up in a martini glass.
Yeah.
This is more than that.
Right.
This is almost 4 ounces of just alcohol versus 3. And when we have 3 in a straight up, we think that's really strong.
Right.
This is 4. And it has then the cola to give it the color and the flavor.
Well, the combination of the roses and the cola make it sweet enough to just.
Well, again, I've been using that lemon sweetened and the roses versus pure lime juice and lemon juice because a lot of these recipes, like this one, said add simple syrup.
Right.
Well, if I use those sweetened, I don't need to add simple syrup.
Right.
So it actually cuts down on the sugar, and it's more predictable.
Right.
There's an actual science.
Right.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah. So, the reason we need a strong drink today.
Oh my gosh.
Is because you spent 7 hours edging.
Yeah.
Before you got used.
It's a little mind blowing. I was a little frazzled and I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't keep track of what I was doing. I had to lay things out and say, okay, I have to put this on next. I have to do this next. And then I'd find myself standing there going, I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I standing here?
Right.
I mean, it really set off my brain. And at the end there, before you went to walk, I was laughing to myself and trying to, mothers or women, of their young teenage boys will say things like, get it together. What is wrong with you? Just get it together. They're distracted, right? Maybe it's not like the kid is necessarily looking at porn in front of them, but they're hormonal, extremely horny and hormonal.
Right.
And they're not paying attention and whatever. And you're doing normal daily things and you're like, get it together. Come on, get it. And I never was in touch with being that sexed up and completely not able to pay attention. And I'm still having trouble talking. I could not concentrate.
Well, you had the full experience.
Yeah.
First of all, you put Ben Wobbles in for an hour,
Yes.
followed by edging with a Hitachi, followed by
Yes.
attaching a clit pump,
Yes.
keeping the Ben Wobbles in,
Yes.
and then removing the clit pump at the end of the hour and
Yep.
fingering your clit, after which you use the Hitachi.
So finger my clit for a minute, Hitachi for 30 seconds.
Every
put
hour.
the clip back on.
Yep.
The Ben Wa balls are still there, etc. Continue.
Hour after hour from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. At which point, I took the dog for a walk.
Oh, thank God.
Meanwhile, in the morning, in the middle of all of that, I had you suck my cock.
Yeah, you come out of your shower.
Yeah.
I'm doing my damnedest to keep the Ben Wa balls in. You know, I think I give myself credit. I'm keeping them in as I'm upright because I'm upright a lot. And there's a lot happening from getting up and down and moving around. You're massaging all the
Juices.
G-spot.
Yeah.
And, you know, then you say, you come out here naked and, like, come becking me with your hard cock. And I'm, like, on my knees sucking your cock. And that's erotic. And I can feel my whole juices letting go. And then you went and finished. And then I made a mess of myself. Because it's like I think of it as like when the Ben Wa balls are in there, it's like a juicer, like a hand juicer.
Wow.
On a lemon. It's just they're constantly moving around in there, and I'm just squirting all over. I mean, I know people have squirted. It's not like it's the first thing ever, but I mean, I'm squirting and it's staying inside because the balls are blocking the opening, right? And then they'll. Occasionally they'll fall out, or I have to go run after this ball across the room, or I'm in the bathroom and I'm getting ready to go to the bathroom and I think, oh, I'll just take these out and go pee real quick, and then, you know, because I don't want them to fall into the toilet kind of thing.
Yeah.
And as soon as I do, I'm just like, gosh. It's like, and I'm like, I mean, I think today it was so much. I was laughing, thinking I completely made a mess of myself.
Right.
And it's, you know, you think about that happening all day long, that's a huge turn on.
Yeah, and you did that, and then
You left in your walk and you gave me instructions.
And you had instructions, and you had a new instruction, which you hadn't had for a while. You weren't really sure how to deal with. What you had to do was take everything off, take everything out, and then spank your clit 20 times with a wooden paddle.
And video it.
And video it for me, yeah.
So, of course, I'm in a Twitter. Not only am I in excitement about spanking my clit that is now swollen and very sensitive, but also, like, how to even operate my own camera on my phone. Like, it took me, like, 3 shots to get the video. I was, like, completely unable to really operate. It was almost like I was in pre-subspace. I was just really not functioning highly.
Yeah.
And then I had to prepare myself to be used, and then I had to put my clit jewelry on.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a whole process with that, because I don't like it all twisted. I have to be, yes, be perfect. And then he says, of course, because that's not enough, he says, put the dragon clips on, put 1 into your collar and 2 to your labial lips. So I'm like, oh, fuck, this is going to hurt, you know. So I go get myself in my kneeling position, and then I'm trying to navigate which spots are the best spots to put that on, you know.
Right.
There aren't any good spots. It's just, you just fool in yourself. But
Right.
yeah, and then kneel and just wait and be really within myself right then on what's about to occur.
Right, so you've been super sexualized. You're extremely aroused. I could barely touch you before I left, and you were like, you can't do that.
Yeah. That's a dangerous thing to do.
I just touched your breast for a minute. Yeah, so I come back, and there you are, and I bring you over to the chair, and I set you up, and I put you on your back.
Yes, because you want me to pull on those dragon clips.
I
Open
do.
up my
I want you
clit.
to open up your pussy and prepare
wait.
yourself to be used, and then I stand in front of you. And
Oh my God, this is insane. You stand in front of me, and you're getting yourself all prepared, because there's a little ritual, and once you're set up, then you you're getting hard while you're watching me, while you're getting yourself ready.
So getting ready means putting the strap on that attaches.
Yeah, like the cock ring almost.
It's a
like
cock ring for my cock and a cock ring for my balls.
Yeah,
you strap
so
them
everything
tight,
comes forward and really hard and tight.
Yeah, and the cock swells.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then, you're putting that on, and it's arousing to be, I'm laying there spread open. You're excited that this is going to happen. All of this is happening. Meanwhile, you're getting harder and harder. And then by the time you're ready to go, you're stroking this thick cock that's, I only use the word, and it's not a bad word. It's a beautiful cock. But it's like angry and purple, and it's ready to be used. Like, it's like, come on, let's go play. It's almost like when I see it like that, it's such a turn on. But also that it's like yelling at you, like, come on, let's fucking play. Because it's so purple. It's deep purple. That's a group, isn't it? Yeah. But it is. Yeah. And it's hot. And you're looking at me and looking at my body. And I'm looking in your eyes. And then I'm looking at your cock. And I'm rawr. Like, it's animal rawr.
And you gotta consider that this is at the end of like 8 hours of extreme sexualization. So you're like desperate to be fucked.
It took everything in my power to not grab your cock while you were stroking it from me because you were within reach. And I was like, ooh, that's right. It's right there.
I didn't give you permission to.
It's so right there. It's right there. And then you like just take advantage of the position and push your cock inside me, and all the clips smash in, and that's an intense feeling. And then you're just, I'm licking your nipples, and oh fuck, I'm just getting fucked is what I'm getting. Yeah. That's what's so amazing.
Yeah.
And it's, there's so many parts. And
then we went on from there. It was like a super hot scene.
Yeah, and your growling today was like so. Like maybe I was just more like tuned and senses were like on edge because of how long I had been edging, but I was just like fucking growl. Yeah, oh yeah, that's really good. And I was just really a hot mess. But
you were.
Oh my god,
it was came hot. So hard, so often, so many times.
Yeah, I don't even know. I was in a totally different state. Like, I felt like it. And like I told you, there was a point where the time before when we used the dragon clips, I was very much aware of the dragon clips the whole time. Like, the whole time. It was the first time I worn them, so it was like I was very aware of them. And this time, I was aware of them. Fuck, I know. When you change positions with those things on, they move and stuff. However, there was a point where we were just deeply in this space together energetically. Yeah. And, like, everything disappeared.
The discomfort of the dragon clips.
Yeah.
It's gone.
But even, like, and I'm recognizing this now, I don't remember music.
Oh, the music was loud.
I know. Like, everything fell away.
Wow.
And it was just you and I could hear your sounds.
Interesting.
Like, more exaggerated than I normally do. And that was it. That was the space I was in. It was so hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to write about this. This was an unusually...
I'm just remembering that now, though, because I recognize I don't even remember the music.
Yeah.
And then, like, flogging, I barely remember, but it was, like, intense flogging.
Yeah.
And then there was a point, that was the point where it switched, where everything just kind of switched. Huh. And it went off. And the flogging was just happening. Yeah. But I was... I mean, it's a turn on for me, but it wasn't a concern for me at all. And then that's when you went into, pussy in my ass and all that stuff. And I'm telling you, that's the whole point where I was feeling nothing. There was no sound. There was nothing.
Subspace.
Oh my God, I was in subspace. Deep.
Yeah, it took you a minute to respond after you got changed, after we were done, and you came.
I was still shaking. I was still shaking, like vibrating.
Yeah. Super hot.
Oh,
so great. Love it.
It's the best.
All right. Well, I got a little present for you.
Do I need scissors?
I can just tear it open.
Okay. It'll be nice and loud for you. Okay. Loud enough for you? All right. I had a feeling. I should be scared. I should be scared.
Why?
Let's look at the card. To enhance your experience and mine, I love you, Daddy. It's a great card. Excellent card. And this looks like Cat o' Nine Tails. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yes, because isn't that the next trading item?
That's the next item up.
Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Cool.
It's got roses on it.
I like the roses. I've seen them without the flares. I think the flares help.
Yeah, sometimes they put knots at the end.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
But my idea isn't to scar you, so
Yeah.
just to whip
So
you.
we'll go through a training. Kind of. Wait a minute before I hand it to you. We'll go through a training session.
You know, it'll just
You know,
it'll
it's just what it is.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so what it is, it's got a nice heavy handle.
Yeah.
And it's got
And they're nice thick strands.
the thick strands that are
Braided.
braided.
Yeah.
And toward the end of each braid, for about 6 inches down to the end,
Are some
where
rose.
there's an actual leather rose. There are rose petals.
Right. I like it.
And
Very
so-
beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a really pretty flogger. Cat o' nine. We have a cat o' nine.
So you should test it.
Well, I will.
Maybe you should have me, like, lean over and actually get a precursor.
Let's see if we
I
can.
don't know if this is going to give us any precursor, but that's definitely impact.
Is it impact?
Yeah. It's just different. It flares. That's gonna be interesting on bare butt. Yeah. But it's impact. It's just a different kind of impact.
The reason I chose this particular one is because all the comments I read about it were from submissives on the receiving end who talked about it giving a nice thuddy impact.
It does. And it's very localized. Like
Yeah.
sometimes the flogger is more like what I would say a rectangle area that it hits, depending on where you're hitting me, right? Occasionally, if it's a short strike, there'll be the tips,
Yeah.
and it just depends on where you're hitting me, basically. But that feels like it hits a spot, like there's more of a round spot
Right.
that it hits because of probably the weight, because there's weight on the end of those with
Right.
those roses.
The roses are heavier than the
That'll
flogger.
be interesting to play with.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. That's awesome. That's a fun toy for us.
Yes, it is.
How great.
And, you know, the intention is we sort of make our way towards a singleton.
Right.
So
you had talked
that's-
about that.
That's kind of the intention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, fun.
It's fun because it's a new way of looking at impact too for me. Because
Right.
I'm in
You're-
a space where that is appropriate, I feel.
Yeah, well, you're highly trained in experiencing the multi-tail flogger.
Mm-hmm.
You're highly trained in that, and I've exhausted its ability to provide impact. I mean,
Well,
I've given
it
you.
does. It does
I've given
provide
you
impact.
over 1,200 strokes in one go.
Right.
And I've given you some very hard strokes with it to the point that I'm like it exhausts my muscles.
So like
You know?
the flogger is one which I feel like you do this. I just can't see it.
Yeah,
You're trying to get all the tails to come together.
correct.
So the same with the cat o' nine tails.
Yes.
And so is it harder because there's only 9? Is that the deal? They don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
why do they emphasize that in the sense that is it harder?
Yeah, it's harder to control just the 9 because they aren't as like sucked together as the many of them are together when you
Right.
swing it. Because there's fewer of them, so there's less sort of force that pulls them together. And you've got to like time the whipping of it so that they don't spread out when it lands on you, so they will land at the same time.
And it's probably going to change the way you throw it.
Likely, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's a different type of piece of equipment.
Well, no, just in that little quick test that we did, I could feel like where it wanted to break.
Right.
And so I could just tell where I needed to like add a little zest to the throw.
I get it.
To keep the tips together.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, just in that
Isn't that great?
yeah,
It's a neat little...
It's a different tool.
Yeah.
And, I'm excited to see how it lights you up.
And lands for you, yeah,
It
exactly.
lands for you, yeah. Be interesting to see how the catch works on that compared to the other.
Tell me the catch again. What the catch
You're
is?
the catch.
I'm the catch.
Yeah.
I thought it was a
You're
receiver.
catching it.
Okay, I'm catching it.
Yeah.
But what is the different phases of your stroke? It's like you are releasing here?
Yeah, so for me, it's all in the way you break your wrist.
Yes.
And so with the flogger, it's sort of, there's a tempo to the wrist that is very particular. With this, just the weight of it, I could feel the tempo is at a different place. The wrist break occurs at a different place.
So do you think that changes rhythm? And what I mean by that is like your music choices or different things like that? It's just different actions happening at different times.
Yeah, I just have to master it.
Yeah.
I've got to just master
Cool.
the maneuver. It doesn't feel like it's out of reach for me because it's pretty familiar to a flogger compared to a flogger.
Yeah.
So I feel like, like I tend to use like a figure 8,
Yes.
right? Because I go forehand, backhand kind of.
Yes.
And so that's the action I've got. And when we talked to Dex about the single tail, he said, what his approach in single tail is everything uses the same approach. So you use the same...
You keep building on them.
Yeah, just keep building on the skill. So I thought, well, obviously, if that's the case, I should just get the next one.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Right. And so I immediately went to the same maneuver that I used with the flogger. And I just felt like, it's not quite the same place where it breaks. It's a little bit different. It comes earlier. It comes later. I just got to figure it out.
You got to learn a feel of it.
Yeah. And I'm confident that because I've got
thousands of strokes
of practice in the flogger, like literally maybe even tens of thousands,
right,
that this will be a no-brainer.
How great.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. That's great.
Yeah. And it'll take your experience of impact to a different place.
Totally. Yeah.
And that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. The notion that we can have all sorts of impact play.
Yeah, well, just growing into the impact play. I just think that's exciting.
Yeah, like, we use canes and we use floggers, we use paddles and my hand.
Yep.
So there is a process to the journey.
Yeah. No, I think this is great. Thank you. That's awesome. What a neat surprise. I'm glad we opened it early. It's important to open things like that early.
Yes. We'll get to put it to good use very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what happened today was we had an interview planned.
Yeah.
And the person that we were going to interview was on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And they got it in their head that the time frame was different. It was backwards.
Yep.
So they were looking for us at 1 o'clock this afternoon instead of 7 o'clock this
sad.
evening. I know. So we got rescheduled for another day.
Oh, good.
And we'll have them on. And it's like I told her, there's nothing wrong because we have plenty of content. And we'll just get on another day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And so that's our story for the day.
That sounds great. That's it for today. If you're interested in kinky relationship coaching, online domination, or if you'd like to sponsor the pod to keep it going, please visit our Patreon website at Lady Petra Playground. You can reach me via email at ladypetraplayground@gmail.com. Our music is composed and performed by Roger Ferguson, who can be found at rogerfergusonmusic.com. Till next time, cheers!